Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Cynthia Lynette Parker. Parker was shot and killed on Thursday, June 17, 2010, in the 5000 block of South Wadsworth Avenue in South Park, according to LA County coroner records. Michael Andrews was subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. In the evening of June 17, 2010, Cynthia Parker was shot and killed while sitting in her car in front of a house in the 5000 block of Wadsworth Avenue. Her baby daughter was in the rear passenger seat but was unharmed. The shooting occurred in an area claimed by the 10 Line Gangsta Crips. The area had been previously claimed by the Bloodstone Villains. Police arrived at the scene at 10:45 p.m. Although there were 10 to 15 people in the street screaming and crying, ultimately only Kelly provided a statement to the police. According to Kelly, Parker had been visiting her and got in the car to go home. Kelly said goodbye and went into the house. She heard the sound of what she thought were firecrackers and then heard Parker's car horn. Kelly walked out to find Parker wounded and unresponsive. Kelly told police the baby's father was Kanye Rollins and that he and Parker had been in an argument before the shooting. Kanye Rollins heard about the murder the next day when Parker's sister called him and said, "I'm gonna whoop your ass if you had anything to do with my sister getting shot." Rollins found the inhabitants of the Wadsworth house hanging out together on 98th and Main. Everyone there gave him a rundown of what happened. Ms. Boyd told Rollins that she had been standing at the side of the car with her relative Larry Scheide, talking to Parker. Scheide is a Crip gang member. Boyd said she saw a man fumbling with his belt nearby. Then he got a gun and started shooting at Scheide and then at Boyd. About a week after the shooting, Boyd visited Parker's grandfather, Jay Brighter. Brighter was taking care of Parker's child. Boyd told him she witnessed Parker's shooting. She said she was talking to Parker when a man came around the corner in the darkness. Parker flashed her lights to try to identify the man. The man was chasing her nephew and shooting at him. After her nephew left, the man shot at Boyd and she ran away. Boyd didn't tell Brighter the name of her nephew. Rollins began conducting his own investigation. He learned from Scheide that Boyd's son Ghetto, a Crip gang member, had a picture of the dude that did the shooting. Rollins went to see Ghetto the next day. Ghetto had about 3 photos. Rollins took a picture of one of the photographs with his cell phone. Rollins then asked people about the pictures and someone volunteered that the person in the picture was a Bloodstone Villain gang member. He showed the picture to Boyd and Scheide. Scheide indicated that the image was of the shooter, but Boyd was not sure. On June 21st, 2010, Rollins met with LAPD detectives Tommy Thompson and Leonardo McKenzie. A few weeks later, Rollins electronically provided detectives with a digital copy of his photograph of Ghetto's photograph. At some point, Detective McKenzie showed the image provided by Rollins to other gang officers who suggested it was Chabo, a member of Bloodstone Villains. Searching for that moniker in department resources, he found a photograph of the defendant. On March 23, 2011, Detectives McKenzie and Thompson interviewed Kenneth Jones, who was in custody on a possession for sale of PCP case. Detectives told him, "We have a guy that's saying you did something." Detectives showed Jones the photograph from Rollins and asked Jones if he knew the person in the picture as Chabo. Jones claimed he met defendant, who he knows as Chabo, through Tavar Thomas, a Bloodstone Villain member known as C.K. Bell. Bell referred defendant to Jones for a security job at a nightclub. Later, Jones fired defendant for stealing alcohol. C.K. Bell was shot outside the Bottoms Up recording studio, a Bloodstone Villain hangout on May 30th, 2010. Jones told police that on June 17, 2010, he was hanging out with a bunch of people at 51st and Central. Defendant Chabo was there both drunk and high, talking nonsense. He said, "Bell my brother, Bell this, Bell that. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing, ain't nobody finna do shit. I got him, that's my brother." Defendant asked if anyone had a heat, which is street slang for a pistol. Later, Jones heard gunshots. In July 2011, Detectives McKenzie and Thompson interviewed Scheide. Scheide was undergoing court-ordered drug rehab at the time. Scheide told detectives he got off work at approximately 7 p.m. on June 17, 2010, and went to Boyd's house in the 5000 block of Wadsworth where family members were watching the Laker game. The house is a known Crip hangout. Scheide went outside and saw Boyd was standing by the driver's side door talking to Parker in the front seat of the car. He noticed a man walking down the street going on and off the curb. The man came to the back of Parker's car on the rear passenger side and started to go for his waistband. Scheide kicked the gate in front of the house to avoid being shot. He was about 2 feet away from the man before Shadi took off running toward 51st Street and toward Avalon Boulevard. Shadi was zigzagging down the street to avoid being shot. He heard about 6 more shots as he was running. About 30 minutes later, he returned to see the streets were blocked off by police. Shadi was arrested in Long Beach for a robbery about a month after the murder. Although he initially denied getting money from the police, Shadi admitted that he did get paid by the police for his relocation. Around the time of the preliminary hearing, Shadi told the previous deputy district attorney that he was concerned about snitching and that something bad might happen to him. The prosecutor now assigned to the case suggested he could be relocated. Over the course of 3 months, he was paid a total of $2,700 for rent, meals, and incidentals. Shadi understood that if he didn't testify in this case, he would be in contempt of court and have to serve 6 years in prison for the robbery he did in Long Beach. At trial, LAPD officer Brian Cooney testified as a gang expert. He's familiar with the Bloodstone Villains. The gang has been in existence since the 1970s, is associated with the color red, and controls a territory in South Los Angeles. The gang's primary activities are vandalism, narcotic sales, robberies, and murders. At the time of this shooting, there were approximately 170 Bloodstone Villain gang members. Officer Cooney found a rap video about Bloodstone Villains on YouTube, which was played for the jury, in which gang hand signs were shown. Defendant is shown in the video making gang hand signs and holding a gun behind his back. Officer Cooney opined that the video was shot at the Bottoms Up recording studio. A second YouTube video was also posted online. In it, defendant is talking to a documentarian holding a camera and asking him questions. Defendant boasts about his gang membership and exploits, including a prior murder he committed as a juvenile. In response to a hypothetical mirroring the facts of this case, Officer Cooney opined that the crimes were committed for the benefit of, at the direction of, or in association with a criminal street gang. In his opinion, the shooter was working on behalf of the Bloodstone Villains because he shot at a rival gang member in retaliation for a Bloodstone Villain gang member who had been shot 17 days earlier. Following the trial, defendant Michael Andrews was convicted of 1 count of first-degree murder, 1 count of premeditated attempted murder, and 1 count of being a felon in possession of a firearm. The jury also found true the gun and gang allegations. The court sentenced defendant to 25 years to life for the murder conviction, plus a 25 year to life for the enhancement, and a concurrent term of 15 years to life for the attempted murder, plus a 20 year to life term for the enhancement. Cynthia Lynette Parker was 24 years old at the time of death.